I think most of you have been around for a while, but if you're new here, I should probably do a little bit of an introduction. I am Dr. Lori Dottie. Welcome to the Grit and Grace podcast. I help busy professional women who are over 40. Most, I would tell you, are over 50, but I help women over 40 finally lose weight, feel amazing in their own skin, in their clothes and out of them, um, and really get their energy back, feel confident again. And we do it without burnout, without fad diets, without any of the quick fix bullshit that is out there and so prevalent on social media and when you Google, right? And today, in this episode, I want to get into something that's big. Okay. So let me kind of set the stage. Have you ever felt like you're trying so damn hard to change, but something almost that seems invisible is just pulling you back, pulling you down like crabs in a bucket, pulling you back to the bottom of the bucket, right? You start a diet, maybe a workout plan, a new routine, and then boom, you're right back where you started. Like this invisible force is working against you. Well, here's the bad news. It feels that way because there is this invisible force pulling you back and working against you. And today I'm going to get into that. I'm going to show you exactly what it is and how to break it. Sound good? Okay, so now you have a reason to hang in here with me. Let me tell you a little bit of a personal story because I think when you realize, especially if you're new here, when you realize that like I've been where you are, I am not just talking out of my ass. I've experienced the things that I'm talking to you about that you're struggling with. All of those that makes it real for you, right? And here's the thing. I used to think that I just needed more discipline, more willpower. I'd wake up and I'd swear like, okay, freaking today is the day. I'm going to follow this perfect plan that I follow and or I found, and then life would just happen in these great ways. The stress, the long hours, all of that, I'm going to be able to overcome it. And the reality is life still lifed. Life still happened. The exhaustion was there, all the responsibilities, the stress, it was still there. And I would get really upset and I would think, like, why can't I get it together? What is wrong with me? And what I didn't realize was that what felt like a failure, I wasn't really failing. I was more committed to something else. I'm going to break this all down to you, but what I said that I was committed to, in reality, I wasn't. I was more committed to something else, and I didn't even realize that. And until I changed that, I got to the root of it and I changed it, nothing changed. And that's the hard truth. That's the hard truth about why I stayed stuck for so long and likely why you're still stuck. Because let's just let's be real for a second. You say you want to lose weight, but you keep eating the same way that you've been eating. You skip doing a workout or like starting workouts. You say you want more energy, but you keep staying up all night scrolling your phone, doom scrolling bullshit on TikTok and Instagram. If you're watching me, that's not doom scrolling. No, but I joke. Seriously, even if you're watching me, stop staying up late. So you can't say you want more energy, but then doom scroll on Instagram or wherever online. You say you want to feel more confident, but you keep stepping to the back of photos at work when your leadership group is going to take a group photo, or at a family event when all your kids or your grandkids get together and they're like, let's take a family photo, and you step to the back. This is not about laziness. It's not about a willpower problem. It is a commitment conflict. Let me say that again. Write it down louder for those in the back. It's a commitment conflict. So I want you to imagine, I'm going to talk about this in terms of contracts, okay? I want you to imagine you're holding two contracts in your hands. One is a contract that is about the goal that you say you want. All right. The other contract is a hidden commitment that's actually running the show. I'm going to break this down and explain it, but hang in here with me. Guess which one wins? The contract that is about the goal that you say you want, or the contract that has this hidden commitment that's running the show? Which one wins is the one you're most committed to. And here's how this plays out in real life so that I can break it down plain and freaking simple. You have this goal of, you say you want to feel healthier. Okay. That's a goal. I want to be healthier. But the hidden commitment that wins out is, I don't want to feel deprived. I don't want to give up the food I love. All right. Here's another example. I want more energy each day. But the other contract, the hidden real commitment is, I don't want to slow down with all the things I've committed to. I don't want to face the emotions that are underneath what's sucking the soul out of my energy. Again, another contract over here on the left. I want to be confident. I want to gain confidence and feel really good. But over here, I have this secret hidden commitment to how I don't want people to judge me. And if I make change in my life, they're going to say, oh, you've changed. What's going on with you? You see what I mean? Your actions will all, and your choices to take those actions will always show what you are truly committed to. And this isn't just like Lori lecture stuff that I made up. There's science to explain why this happens. So let me get into, without getting too sciencey, let me get into the science of why your brain does this, why your brain will allow you to have this one contract with these really great goals, but then keep you sabotaged with this commitment to this other contract. All right. Here's what happens. Your brain hates change. You may have heard me say that before, but I'm going to stand by it 1,000,000% because the science proves this out. Your brain hates change. It loves routine. It loves the familiar sense of what's happening in life, and it keeps you safe. That is part of its job. Even if, and this may sound crazy, but even if that safety is actually keeping you stuck and miserable, your brain is going to choose to keep you safe. And there's a psychological principle for why that happens. It's called cognitive dissonance. I paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for a PhD in understanding the theory of this, but let me try to break it down for free here on this episode for what that means and why it works. So, this psychological principle called cognitive dissonance is when Your actions and your beliefs don't match up. And when that happens, okay, your brain tries to fix, quote unquote, if you're watching me on YouTube, you saw me use air quotes. Your brain tries to, quote unquote, fix that cognitive dissonance by pulling you back to what feels familiar. I work with my clients all the time on understanding this, and these are the kinds of really pivotal understandings that underlie why my clients make lasting, truly deep level change. Okay. So if you say you want to be healthier, if you've spent years believing taking care of myself is selfish, or I'm always going to fail at this, I've tried too many times and I always fail, I can't be successful at work and in my health, there's just no way, then your brain is going to always pull you back to your deepest level of commitment. You see how that works? But here's the good news. You can change it. And the shift has to be, in order to be successful about that change, and it be rooted in actually solving the issue on a level that keeps it shifted. That doesn't mean you try another diet, you do another detox, you do another quick, fix kind of thing, you buy another supplement, or you go off and, join some temporary 75 hard kind of bullshit group. No, the shift truly has to change on an internal level. It has to change the underlying foundation of what those commitments are. So I want you to think about something you've been struggling with, something you say you want, but you can't seem to follow through on. Now, ideally, this is something health related, energy related, confidence related, weight related, but you can, if you're having a hard time grasping how this actually could work, or you're questioning, you're skeptical, then I want you to think about something outside of the health and wellness and weight loss side of your life, and think about something that you can't seem to follow through on in another area of your life. That works too. Then you can go from there to weight loss, wellness, health, energy, confidence, so on. Okay. So think about something you want in your life, but you can't seem to follow through on it. Okay. Got that in your head? Okay. Now ask yourself, if I were secretly committed to something that's keeping me stuck related to that issue, right? What would it be? If I were to be secretly committed to something that's keeping me stuck around that thing that I want, what could that be? Open your mind to exploring what could those things be. Maybe, for example, you're committed to avoiding discomfort, right? So maybe you're more committed to not having pain from a workout than you are committed to building strength. Even though you say, I want to tone up and get stronger, maybe you're actually, if you're really honest with yourself, you're more committed to avoiding the soreness of a workout than you are this idea of being stronger and toned. Maybe you're more committed to staying in control, or what feels like being in control. You're more committed to that than learning something new. Because learning something new means you have to accept that you're not in control of everything you thought you knew, right? You see how this works? Maybe you're more committed to proving that you're overwhelmed than finding a solution. I can see this at work with many of the women who I talk to who want to change their weight and health, but they talk about how overwhelmed they are in their lives. And they spend a lot of time proving to me how overwhelming their responsibilities are at work and how overwhelming their responsibilities are to helping their adult children who are a mess. And they really work hard to prove how overwhelmed they are, and they're more committed to that than they are to finding a solution. And that's a block for them. And before you say, oh, no, I'm not committed to those things, look at your actions. How do you behave? What kinds of things do you think and do each day? This takes being really honest with yourself. Because if you're saying I'm not committed to those things, but you're still stuck around them, I guarantee you, you are not allowing yourself to be open to the possibility that your commitment is keeping your ass stuck. Now, here's the shift. What is it that you really want to be committed to instead? Now that you've identified where you are committed, that's keeping you from being able to move forward, what would you really like to be committed to instead? And then when you can identify that one, and I want you to do this in a very simple way. Identify one very small space that you're committed, that isn't serving you. Be open to it. It doesn't make you bad or wrong or any of those things. It's just a fact, right? Take the emotion out of it. What do you want to be committed to instead of where you are committed? And then what's one small thing, one small action you can take right now to reinforce that new commitment? And realize I talk through these things with you. I want to help you to recognize it, but this isn't about flipping a switch overnight. It's about choosing every day in small ways to be more committed to your future, to be more committed to the woman you want to be more committed to that ideal self, to be more committed to that woman 5 years down the road who you really want to be. It is about being more committed to your future than it is to your fear. Because that's really what you're doing right now. You're allowing yourself to be more committed to fear, which is keeping you from the future that you want. And I don't know about you, but I don't have a lot of freaking years to waste. And so I damn sure don't want to be more committed to fear right now than my future. So if this hits home for you, if you're sitting there thinking, oh my God, this is me, like it stings a little bit, but I got to admit, this is me. Listen, this is exactly the work I do with my clients. We don't just talk about weight loss, menopause, workouts, exercise. We go deep into the patterns that have kept you stuck for years and that change them for good, because that's the only real way to make lasting transformation. And here's the thing. If you just had a light bulb moment listening to this, I don't want you to sit on it, because what happens when you just sit there? You go right back to the same old commitments. That's what your brain does. It's actually what your brain wants for you because that feels more comfortable and safe, right? But if you're ready to actually shift and finally move forward, I want to help you do that. So here's what's next. I rarely do this on a podcast episode, but I'm going to do it here. Here's what's next. If this is speaking to you, if you are ready, if you want to see if the work that I do with women is a good fit for you, I want you to reach out to me. We can talk. We can see if it is actually a good fit. And then we can talk about what it would look like for us to work together. If not, cool. I will help you with a free resource. But change isn't about trying harder. It's about changing what you're committed to. And I would really love to help you do that. Thanks for spending time with me this afternoon, and I'll see you right back here next time.